What do Cupcakes
A midlife crisis
and Nick finally winning once have to do with each other?
You're listening to The Disc Golf Show.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Disc Golf Show. Back at it again for episode number 6. My name is Justin. With me today is this guy.
Nick, that's me.
That's you. You did it so good this time.
It was
I'm so
on cue. On cue.
It was
I'm getting
on cue.
better. I'm taking notes.
You are taking notes. You're taking notes. You're taking names. You're learning. I'm proud of you.
I don't know how many names I'm taking.
Before we forget, though, this show brought to you by Final 9 Sports. 2 locations, one in Orangevale, one in Rocklin. Support local because you should, and you know you should. Don't buy it online. Well,
California, by the way.
But try to support local.
California,
yeah. They know that.
All right.
Because they watch the show.
Well, I mean, a lot of people watch our show, not just in California. So.
Oh, that's true.
When you say
we have almost a cult following. Okay, I can't really say that, but we have a lot of people that follow us in Iceland. Hi, Iceland.
That's what happened when we did it back in the day.
They really like the show.
Yeah, exactly.
That or somebody's creating a bot account to troll us in Iceland. And either way, hi, thank you. Actually, knock it off. That's not cool. It's not cool.
Okay. Hey, I want to do a quick shout out here really quick.
Okay, go for it.
First thing, big shout out to Disc Golf Network. Now I know, you can like them or not, whatever, but
you can like them or you can hate them.
And we talked about this last episode of how I mentioned it, of how I thought I changed my subscription.
Right.
Well, I did, but when it went through on their end, it only kept me at the normal rate, not the discounted rate, for standard. And mind you, the normal rate for standard and the discounted rate for pro is like a $10 difference.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm just not looking at this right. So I contacted them. I said, hey, don't know what's going on. My PDGA number is linked to DGN. Okay. And I didn't get the discounted rate at the standard, which is what it looked like that I got charged, but I had tried to switch it to pro.
So when you contacted them, did you say, do you know who I am?
No, I do. I never do that.
Who I am?
I do not. I don't do that.
Is?
No.
Okay. Right.
Nobody knows who I am.
I didn't think you would, but
well, you do. So that's all that matters.
I know.
But
who you are.
Big shout out to the rep there. He took responsibility. I love it when businesses take responsibility on their end. So there was some sort of a error or glitch. So they just comped a $10 difference and they bumped it up to the pro, which is what I wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, we're going to get right at it here.
Oh.
I pulled up and this time maybe it was because it didn't say in parentheses ad free. Okay. But I pulled up a normal feed and the DGN Pro feed. I saw no difference.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, it wasn't just me. So
me either.
I'm curious as to what's going on there.
I'm wondering, and maybe you know, you tell us, you tell us if you know.
Are you okay?
Maybe it senses that you have a certain level of subscription, and it just automatically only gives you the feed that's
maybe
appropriate.
I thought about that, but
because
if it was the standard, doesn't the standard or the pro, the whole thing I thought was no ads for the video, but it didn't say no ads. So I wonder if now the only difference is, how when you have pro, you get 2 tickets to a pro event, which we'll hit one up.
Okay.
Well, we both have 2 tickets, so we should bring some people if we can.
That's true. We can bring a +1.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder if I'm just curious as to what's going on there, because the very first chess.com event said no ads in parentheses.
Okay.
So they just removed it this time. It just said DGN Pro.
Right. That's what I noticed. That's what I was actually looking for at first, and then I switched back and forth between the two, and I was like, what's the difference?
Yeah. So you have access to both feeds, but they both were the same. So
I don't know.
Just curious. Maybe I'll try to contact them to see if there is.
Maybe they were throwing everybody a freebie, and they're like, you know what? This is what pro looks like.
I don't think that's what it is.
Maybe they messed up. I don't know.
Maybe they did.
Maybe I
Okay.
did.
All right. Let's move on. Okay. A couple big things have happened since
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
There was last weekend was the Memorial, which isn't on the Pro Tour or anything, but a lot of the pros still go to that event.
Yes.
They love it. It's a birdie fest. People whine about that. Who cares? Like it's a fun.
It's fun.
It's fun to watch. I like that. I like watching. I've always liked watching that that event. But the biggest issue was that the 30-second rule.
Is that where you have 30
shot,
seconds to eat if your candy falls on the ground?
No. That's like 30 minutes, dude. Come on.
30-minute rule. You have a 30-minute rule?
If I'm just walking
I'm
by
the fat one.
and I see something
you have
on the
a
ground.
30-minute rule?
No, I don't. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I was about to say.
but it's the rule where you have 30 seconds. Once you've approached your lie, you have 30 seconds to throw. And this has come up many times with other people. 1, LeCastro, 2, Burr. And now the main recipient of all this backlash is Cupcake.
Cupcake.
He takes an inordinate amount of time
Okay.
to putt.
So when you say that, if you haven't watched it, I mean, if you haven't heard this by now, I'm sure everybody's covered it ad nauseum, but if you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor, go find the video of it, because it's not just a little excessive. It's a lot excessive.
His average was like 47 seconds.
Dude.
I think it was.
That's an average, but I have seen the part where the infamous sped up.
Oh yeah.
It had to be 2 minutes, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. There were, well, the thing though is, and if you watch Tour Life, Yuli hit on this. He goes, dude, sometimes you have the yips and it's just tough to let go of the disc. Great.
Okay.
Then expect to get stroked.
Yes.
Expect to get called on. Expect until you fix that. Expect to play horribly.
Yeah.
At least score wise, because it just shouldn't be allowed. So, as he said, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. Terry Miller has some coverage of it, and he says enough. I feel bad for him because he's a really good player. Yeah. It's just he can't commit. Right. He can't make that commit.
There's a lot of people with commitment issues.
Yes, I know.
And they learn to get over it.
Well, the other question too is should there be officials at least at the putting area of the holes to make those calls? Because the one thing that you do have to take into consideration
for major tournaments, yes.
Yeah, is for the lie of like a drive, right? Sometimes it's tough to get situated if you're tucked back in a bush and stuff like that. So there's an allowance there.
At the pro level, yes.
But on the putting surface, like, come on, man. Like, just try to clean it up. Yeah. Just try it.
Ultimately, though, it is like golf, right? It's a gentleman's game. So the people on the card should be calling it.
Yes.
And if they're not, then they have no problem with it.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're holding everybody else up behind you. But
if you've admitted, like Gossage admitted to not calling because he was like, well, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it didn't bother him.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah. That's a rule. It's a rule. So if you're not addressing the rule, is that an error on your end where you should be held responsible for it at all?
I don't think so.
Because you're not.
And it depends on the rule, right? And how egregious is it, right? Let's get real. Let's get realistic here. He takes a little bit longer to make his putt. Is that as bad as going, that's out of bounds, but hey, nobody call this, okay? Those are not the same.
No, they're not the same, but they're both rules. All I'm getting at is if there's a rule, then it needs to be applied. I don't care about feelings. I don't care about none of that. The rule is this, and if you wanna have a little bit of wiggle room, that's fine. 35 seconds, that's fine. Not almost a minute.
Yeah.
You can't expect to be allowed to take almost twice as much time as everybody else and get away with it.
Yeah.
You should be held accountable for it. If you're going to be a pro disc golfer, you have to play within the rules of PDGA.
Absolutely.
That's just,
I mean, and if you think about it, there's other sports that are like that at the professional level, right? Especially if you're talking about like baseball, right? Baseball this last year finally put in some more rules about now you have a pitch clock, right? You have to get rid of that ball in a certain amount of time because why? It holds up the games. The games are taking too long.
Exactly.
And disc golf doesn't want to get there. You're holding everybody up. This is taking too long. People are not going to watch. It's going to detriment the sport rather than bring it up. So from that perspective, yeah, absolutely. At the professional level, you better be, and you better have officials there that can do that, right?
Yeah.
Because you're always going to hit that situation where everybody's friends and they don't care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the only way to combat that is get an official.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm kind of coming around to that idea. At first I was like, who cares? It's a non-issue. Actually,
in the long
maybe.
run, it's
in
a
the
big
long
issue.
run it is.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Yeah.
So,
right.
Okay, so let's leave the
Done.
memorial behind.
Chapter
here.
marker.
Exactly.
If you're watching on
Leading
YouTube.
into now the Waco, which was just this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There were some interviews that were held. One of them was Paige Pierce, and she had mentioned that she fights not to play the fun shot versus the smart golf shot. So she is aligning herself more along, and she even mentioned Simon, how Simon's entertaining, and she likes those. Maybe it's a little more difficult, but it's more exciting.
Okay.
Is it wise? Simon found out. Simon plays much more consistent now that he's starting to play golf, right? Smart golf.
Oh, does he?
He
Because my fantasy roster
yes.
would argue otherwise.
Yeah, but the
this
first year, one of the first years
I know
that
what
he
you're
started,
talking
you know what
about,
I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
he improved. Like everybody has their ebbs and flows. But do you think it's I'm not saying that this is what it is, but is that kind of like a little cushion for you to be like, oh well, if I don't play bad, well, maybe I was just playing the fun shots and that's why.
Maybe. But
I don't think that's what it is, but maybe it's like kind of like subconscious.
Here's the thing too is you can't really tell because there wasn't any footage of her playing during the round. So I don't know. I just got to take her word for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe she's struggling between, oh, that would be a really cool shot and that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
No, that's not smart. I should probably go for this one. That'll probably work out too. And maybe that is a struggle now.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I have to take her word for it. I didn't see her play.
And coming back from some time off, then that's a whole other issue.
Yeah,
that's
and you're
in
like,
your head.
I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to make this, fun for myself, which that's going to come up later here with a certain player. We're going to talk about the fun of disc golf, right? So that's important. You got to keep it fun, right?
Well, another thing is, talking about Waco here, another big issue that popped up, and it's a new rule, is the 5-minute rule. And you've probably heard this already. Right. Ricky showed up, and he even made some videos, quick videos on his accounts. He showed up 4 minutes and 30 seconds, somewhere around there, prior to his tee time. The rule is that if you're not there in 5 minutes or more, you get a 2-stroke penalty.
Right.
And it's mainly for, and they discussed this, the PDGA rep or might have been DGPT rep, discussed how it takes a lot to schedule these things and keep them online.
Especially with how many people there are.
Exactly. And if
you lose
if
a
it
disc
adds up,
and
it adds up. Like if somebody's late here,
Cupcakes taking a minute to putt.
Yeah. So mean. But it does affect down the line. And maybe you're one of the top cards and it's not affecting as many cards, but it doesn't matter. I think is it a perfect rule? Maybe not. But it does hold you to some responsibility of you need to be here at a certain time. You just can't run up last second.
There has to be a time.
Yeah.
So pick a time. The time is 5 minutes. That seems reasonable.
Not the time of your tee.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Sometime before that. And 5 minutes shouldn't. 5 minutes goes by really quick. So being at the tee for 5 minutes, when there's a backup, you're at a tee for 15, 20 minutes more.
Seems
sometimes.
reasonable to me.
So he got a two-stroke penalty. I I saw some people saying that it's a messed up rule or whatever, but I think it's fine.
You have to have a time.
Yeah. You have to be held accountable to it.
You know. So there you go.
So
and that sets a time.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing too that I wanted to make note of is the fact that this year they played it at, and I don't know if you've watched any of the other ones that were held at the Beast at Waco. The first course, the wooded course, is the course that it was only a 1-course event.
Right.
That's so it used to be 4 rounds or 3 rounds or 4 rounds, whatever, at the Beast.
Right. And
this year
they mixed it up this year. They went
this
back
year
and
they
forth
added in a
course
on a golf course.
Right.
And they flip-flopped. Yeah. The Beast was the first day and the third day, and then the golf course was the other 2. Personally, and we discussed this as well. Personally, though it's fun to watch, multiple courses and the variables, the different variables between the 2 courses, to me, logistically, for a pro, if I were a pro, I would want one venue so that I could dial in that venue and play the best that I can play at that venue. I don't want to have to get there. And a lot of these pros are getting there Monday or Tuesday. So they only have maybe like 2 days of practice. Yeah. And they've got to, if they've never played the course or if they've made changes or whatever, they've got to try to figure out those changes in their game. Well, to me, I think having to, however far apart they are, go and practice 2 separate courses is just an extra hurdle for a pro to have to take in.
Okay.
I think that it should be, I think the pro tour events should be single course events, whether it's 3 days or 4 days.
Okay.
What do you think?
No, I think you're wrong.
Well, you're
because
wrong. Your face is
and
wrong.
Here's why, Nick. What was that thing that you kept calling them? Pros.
Yeah,
that's
they're pros.
right. So if you're a professional, right? You looking at me on YouTube? You looking at me, pros? Be good.
Yeah, be good.
Be good.
I want you to be good at the course that you play, not 2.
And I like the drama of it too. I like the Beast course and the golf course and the mixing it up. It gives you something different to look at. It gives them a unique set of challenges. There might be some upsets because one player is better at this course versus another. Like Mr. Luke here, who is, home course is there. So he's really good at that course, but maybe not the other one. It mixes it up a little bit, adds in a little bit of drama, and we get a little bit more action and excitement in the tournament. For me, I like the different views, and then again, to me it's I have to warm up on 2 different courses and I have to get there a little earlier. Ho hum. So I'm so sad for you at your professional level.
It's not that.
It's not a consideration for me at least. Like I don't care. You're a professional. You should be good. Be good, right? Yeah, you have to warm up a little bit. I understand that, and check out the courses. I understand that too. But when it comes down to game time, it's the person with the best game, right?
Oh yeah, and I get the fact that they're all in the same situation. Yeah. They all have to. I understand that, and again, as a viewer, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm all for, like we discussed. I'm all for upping the ante when it comes to excitement and speeding up the game. Let's throw in lines.
No,
Cupcake won't take a minute.
No, you would not. Well, okay. So the other
I'd probably tree every disc. I'm just gonna say
the other big issue that was with the golf course venue was that they didn't want them to alter the grounds at all, and the Teepads were temporary Teepads that were built and set on top. Like I'm Pro Tour. I love you. I love the network. I love Disc Golf Pro Tour. That was horrible to watch for me. I did not like seeing the pros have to jump up 1.5 feet up onto the platform in their run up. And it wasn't just Conrad. It was not just Conrad.
No. It was multiple people. Here's the thing. Normally I would say, oh, so sad. Too bad. Get good. You're a pro. However, here's why I'm not saying that. Safety.
Yep.
Those pads, the temporary pads, were way too small, right? If you happen to get a little overzealous and you go over the top of that, you you got a good drop, right? That's not safe. So for the safety of the player, right?
Yeah.
Those need to be at least longer. Like if you're going to have temporary pads, that's fine. They just need to be longer. So we're not running into that issue.
Or if you're going to do this, and here's the other thing, you know what? Do a smaller event at that venue to get the course to understand disc golf more. So that way you can have a little more leeway for these bigger Pro Tour events. That's my opinion would have been the correct route.
That would be the best option.
To get, The other thing was one of those holes. It was one of the early holes. I think it was like 3. The Teepad stopped and there was the lake right in front of it. Like it was like a foot, maybe 2 feet of distance before the drop off that goes down. Like that is so dangerous. Like I get again, like you said, they're probably thinking, well, the pros will adjust, the pros will know.
And they did.
And they didn't. Nobody got hurt, but
thankfully
it didn't even look good either. Because you're just seeing like the raw wood, like the structure
and the
of
whole,
it.
Like having to, there's just so many things that could go wrong. And I know some people might be saying, well, professional sports are dangerous. Look at football. Okay, that's not the same thing. It's preventable. Right? It doesn't have to be there, right? The nature of the sport of football is more inherently dangerous than disc golf, right? Like, let's just be real. Let's face the facts here, right? It doesn't have to be that way. Why throw in the hazard when it doesn't have to be there?
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
You're adding difficulty in the wrong way.
I'm like, oof, that's not a good look.
You're adding difficulty in the wrong way.
Yeah, don't make it more dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous is not good for the sport or the players.
That was dumb.
Especially the players. Other thing, let's see here. Shout out to Tatar.
She won.
Well, yeah, but to me, she's the female version of Macbeth of pushing boundaries in disc golf.
Okay. All right, I'm following you.
Pushing the yardstick or whatever. What do you call it?
The meter stick.
Right. Yeah. She's getting these sponsorships, dude.
Yeah.
Like she's her most recent one is with Nike, but I am gonna ruin this.
Do it. Do it.
Jalajeg?
Yeah.
Halahag? Maybe? Right? I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm so glad you tried it.
Hey,
and it wasn't me.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't mind looking stupid. It is the official Nike representative in the Baltics. So she's sponsored by Nike, which is awesome. But she's sponsored by what was it? Porsche, Nike, a bunch of bigger companies are starting to notice the sport because of Kristen. So the visibility there is increasing, which is awesome.
I see the Macbeth tie now.
That's where I was tying that.
Gotcha. And who is the winner of the MPO?
Dude, before we get into that, I want to know. Are you on the Kristen train now? Do you understand? Do you understand? Because before you've seen, this is the first event you saw her play. This is the first event you've seen her play.
Well, this year, yeah.
Yes.
I've seen reruns, if you will.
Okay. But to me, like she's strides above the field.
At the first couple rounds, I would have argued with you. But by the end, yeah.
She dials it in quick, dude.
Yeah.
And tell me, she has the most repeatable form for the pros. Like she's consistent across the board of her game. And I brought this up before. I don't necessarily,
pretty darn consistent.
But maybe she's not number one. She's not number one at every part of the game. I see what
you're saying. Okay.
But as a whole, her game is like, there's very few weaknesses, if any.
Right.
Like every once in a while she'll have a slight, maybe forget to follow through on a putt. Like she had some misses there, but everybody has that. That's not surprising for anybody.
No, I can't argue with what I saw and the results. Let's put it that way. Like she blew the competition. Yeah, blew the competition just out of the water. Like it wasn't even close by the end. It was close in the beginning.
Yeah.
It wasn't close in the end.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think says it all. I mean, much different story with MPO, and we do need to get there whenever you're ready.
Oh, we can. I just wanted to hit on that to see your opinion now that you actually saw her in action.
In terms of getting on the train, I mean, we'll see. One tournament could be a fluke. I don't know. I got nothing. I just wanted to say, send all your hate to Nick at the Disc Golf Show.
Yeah. That email totally exists.
Yeah, it does.
Did you? You should totally. You need to create
Nick at discgolfshow.com.
Yeah. So moving on to MPO.
Okay, finally.
What was really cool, I did notice about this throughout the event as a whole, the lead cards changed every day.
Wow.
Like there was nobody that just took off.
I had certain players on my fantasy league that I was like, that I gave up, that I let go as free agents.
Horrible.
Because
Papa
I was like, oh, they're not doing anything.
So disrespectful.
Just letting you go, right? Get out of here. Dead to me. But then what do? Yeah. First round, right up there at the top. I'm like, oh. And then it changed the next day and the next day and the final day. So in terms of watching a tournament, like through every day, that is, I mean, one of the best I've seen this year. See what I did there? But it is. I think that's going to be
one of the two. Yes.
I think it's going to be one of the best ones this year, probably. Just in terms of the dynamics of switching down to the, it was Antila's. Am I saying that right? Antila? Nicholas Antila?
Nicholas Antila.
Antila. Yeah. There we go. That's how you say it, right?
That's how most people say it. Yeah.
It was his to lose at the end. And
hole 17, man.
As luck would have it for Burr.
Oh, jeez.
He did. And then Burr took over and won it.
Which is
with
crazy.
Authority.
At the very end.
At the very end.
It came down literally to the last putt, basically.
All he had to do was just not mess up, even take a par.
Dude, Luke should have, I was kind of, to be honest with you, I was rooting for Luke.
Yep.
It's his backyard, right. And
this is the second time he's come so close.
Yeah.
And taken second. So I was rooting for the underdog too, but then
all he had to do was not land on that green.
And then Berg came in and said, "Not today."
Yeah, and he freaking launches it up and over the trees.
New Macbeth.
Yeah. No, he's no, not really.
Not really. But he did win though.
But yeah, it was super fun to watch the like not knowing who could actually, because a lot of times usually there's 2 or 3 people that just take off from the start.
Right.
Maybe okay, let's say after the second round out of 4, usually you're like, I've got a pretty good idea of who's going to win this. But this one it kept switching throughout.
It was awesome.
It was so fun to watch. So fun to watch.
Loved it.
Let's kick into that last gear.
Okay.
So one of the topics that recently came up was, and this was prior to going actually into chess.com, I believe, or it was during, I think, chess.com. And you've probably already heard a bit about this, but I'd like to comment on this. Brodie Smith talked about basically losing the excitement of playing.
The desire to play even.
Yeah. Which Yuli, go check out the Tour Life where they discuss it, because it wasn't scripted. It was kind of like just natural where they actually got into the discussion. It was fun to watch and understand, to get to see how somebody's mind is processing these changes in, what's the word I'm looking for? Like desire of what you want to do in life.
And I don't think he's, like you were kind of saying, he's not unique.
No,
he's not unique.
It goes
in this.
through everybody.
Everybody goes through it, right? Yeah. Like, I don't want to be here. I mean, it's just kind of, it almost equates down to, just having a job.
Yep.
I go to work and I'm like, I don't want to be here today.
Well, that's what he mentioned. He said he doesn't, at this point in his life where he's at, because of his history, doing trick shots and all that stuff, like, he doesn't need to work. No. So he's always structured of what he does is because he's excited to do it.
He wants to
that would
enjoy
be
it.
amazing. And I understand that thought process too. And then people obviously fall back on it because he's played since I think it was 2020 is when you really started. People start talking about, oh, well, he was just a money grab. It's just like, dude, if you're going to do a money grab, disc golf is not where you're going to do a money grab.
Wrong place to look.
Like that's not the spot
right
you're going to go.
Wrong place
it's
to
not.
look. Take up regular, like ball golf.
Yeah,
rather.
if that's what you. Well, he did that too.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, but you got to understand that it does wear on you if what your goals are, and that could be part of it. It's probably not the main thing, but you have goals and you aren't hitting those goals.
Right.
That could be part of it where you're just like, dude, like I'm putting a ton of time into this, and
not seeing the results that you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Other part is he even mentioned this. Am I going through a midlife crisis? You could be.
I mean, maybe.
You could be.
I mean, if he turns around tomorrow and buys that Porsche off a guitar,
right?
Then, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too is people are going, oh, well, he's ripping packs now. He's doing whole baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards. He's doing that on the side, dude.
He's just having fun.
He's doing stuff he wants to do.
Yeah.
Why are you guys? Why and I think there was a couple other social media personalities that have mentioned this, and I completely agree with them. Why so much hate for somebody? If you don't like them, don't watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I bet a lot of it comes down to. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Whatever. It comes down to outward reflection of inner thoughts.
Yeah,
it's called projection.
Yep.
And then another thing is jealousy.
Yes.
I think is what it comes down to too. Because what has the guy done to truly make you hate him? Nothing.
Yeah. What has he done? He's promoted disc golf and brought in freaking eyes to the game.
Bad, right? It's not like he tried to like beat me in fantasy disc golf or something. And then I'd hate the guy. But
I hate you.
That guy.
I don't know. I think there's a big disconnect there with people that have unwarranted hate for somebody that is. You want somebody to hate you just because you decide you change your mind about something? Yeah. That's the most moronic mentality to have.
Well, Nick, I hate to break this to you, but there's a lot of morons in the world.
Oh, there's way too many.
Yeah, I know.
Way too many. So I guess on that point, if you want me to call, or if you want to call me like, oh, you're just a fanboy, I just like the fact that he's brought a lot of eyes to the sport.
No, I like it too.
I like the fact that he's got a following that helps disc golf.
I'm kind of biased a little bit because, you know, I watched his ultimate stuff.
Yeah.
I used to play ultimate, so I'm kind of like, oh, that guy that did the ultimate thing. So,
well, I get it, dude. Like if you don't like his personality, if you don't like his personality, fine.
No, don't
watch him.
There's legitimate reasons to not like someone.
Yeah.
But there's very few reasons to hate someone. You know, like there's a difference. There's a distinction, right? Like I hate this guy and everything it does, and I don't love that guy. Why? What did he do to you? If you don't like him, that's different. Just don't watch him.
Yeah, no biggie. Dude.
There are some people though. There are some people. This is a thing, right? That like to hate watch. They love it.
That's true.
I don't like this guy, so I'm gonna watch him and hate him. Like all the people that aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/discgolfshow. You're probably just hate watching.
And that's fine with me.
Actually, that's fine. Yeah, just hit.
I don't care.
Like or dislike. I don't know. Leave a comment.
Make a comment.
I hate you guys.
Send an email to nick@discgolfshow.com.
Stop making fun of Cupcake. He can take as much time as he wants.
I would say there's a couple small things left here, I guess we can hit up. One is a huge announcement from which event was it? The Preserve. You have not seen this course yet. This is a Kale LaVisca course, a design course. And
who's the sponsor?
Microsoft Teams.
That's a big sponsor.
That's a big name. Yeah.
I use Microsoft Teams at work, and it's great. I love the features where you can, actually I don't. I freaking hate Microsoft Teams. You keep updating. I get used to it, then you update it. What are you doing?
But
stop.
Microsoft as a whole becoming a sponsor.
No, that's huge. Actually,
that's huge. That's a huge step there. So shout out to them. Shout out to Kale. I know that another deal that they've had for a little bit now. I think it's the second season might be, is Prodigy and NHL have a collab going.
Yeah.
So shout out to Kale, one of the smoothest disc golfers you'll ever watch.
True.
And if I don't say so myself, not a bad looking guy.
Yeah.
Not a bad looking guy.
I don't really like his salad though. But
jeez. With a C, not a K.
Oh, really?
Totally different.
Sorry.
Totally
I got confused.
Well, my final question, we kind of already discussed.
Okay.
But there's a tweak to it.
All right.
I'll take the second half of this question and I'll make this the question.
Okay.
How do you feel about if events were held on one course? Okay, go with me here.
Okay.
The basket placement is what moves for difficulty.
Like between each day?
So here's an example, because they do this kind of.
Okay.
Very rarely. Hole 17 at USDGC. There's a location that's a little more welcoming, and then there's a location that's tighter up against the hay bales, right? So there's two different difficulties there.
Right.
Why not just apply that across the board?
I mean, like in between like the rounds, right?
Yes,
You'd
from
switch
round
it
to
up?
round. Yeah, you
Okay.
move it.
So it'd be in different places all 4 days if they did 4 rounds?
Yeah.
I'd be for it. Ultimately, Nick, here's what it comes down to. It's, does it entertain me, right? That's what I want. I want to be entertained. So as long as it's entertaining, I'll watch it. I liked the entertainment value of having the multiple courses. But if we're stuck to one and you can up the difficulty and up the entertainment value, therefore, then heck yeah, do it. And I think maybe you should, if you're only going to use one course, you should do alternate pin placements. Heck, I'd even be for somebody running around with a moving target and they got to hit it. You know, like I'm as long as it's entertaining, man. You know,
I
and
think
it's within the scope of actual reason, not like somebody running it around. But yeah, you change them every day for each round. Heck yeah, do it.
Because you can practice.
You should.
You can practice, and the area is the same, but the variation of where it's placed could be only like 20 feet, but 20 feet can be a lot.
That can be
inbounds
or out of bounds.
That could be in circle one or outside circle. You know what I mean? So that's an easy tweak, because a lot of these courses are temporary courses anyways. They're not installed in the ground. So you could move those wherever. Yeah. So why not take that and use that as a more difficulty change to the course?
I'd be for it. Would you guys be for it? If you would be, and you'd like to leave us your opinion or your comment, you can email us at theshow@discgolfshow.com. If you don't like anything that was said today, you can email Nick at discgolfshow.com. It's a real address. Try it out. If you're in the market, you just so happen to be in the market for a new bag, a new disc golf bag, or maybe some gear, check out Upper Park Disc Golf. Use the code DiscGolfShow, all one word, to get 15% off your purchase. That is amazing. If you're in the market anyways, might as well save yourself some money. It's a pretty good deal, and they have really good products. I have a bag, so I'm biased. But use the code, or it'll save yourself some money. This episode, again, was brought to you by Funnel 9 Sports with their 2 locations in California, Nick. In California, one in Orangevale, one in Roseville. Support local, because you should. You know you should do it. So just do it. That's pretty much it. I think that's it.
I do want to add in one other code.
One more. Okay.
One code.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Discdrifters.com is a travel site hooked up with Expedia.
Yep.
That helps you create your disc golf.
Your road trip
or flights or whatever.
Flight,
if you go there, you can enter in code DiscGolfShow and you can get 25% off.
Yep.
Specific locations.
Right. Not every location is available. So for the ones that are, you can save 25% on that trip that you're planning.
Big shout out to Disc Drifters.
Awesome. So if you're going to plan a trip anyways, save yourself some money on your airfare possibly, and the places that you're staying. Why not?
Exactly.
It's a no-brainer. So I think that's it. That does it for me, does it for Nick. And remember, in disc golf, as in life, aim high and let it fly.
Peace.
I like the part that was just me.
My favorite part was when you weren't speaking.
You heard about plantar fasciitis? You pretend like you don't know, but you do.